Hi, Tana Marshall here with your Feel Good Friday message. And today I want to talk to you about the aftermath for caregivers when the person you've been caring for has moved on, and then there's all the stuff that needs to be taken care of later, which I've been talking about so long, but later is now for me. So if you're in the situation, and really this applies to anybody who's going to have to deal with a loved one passing away at some point, that's pretty much everybody. I just want to share with you some things that I've done that made my life a little bit easier, and things that I'm doing now to make everything that's coming up as easy as possible. So the first thing I want to tell you is prepare ahead of time. Prepare and plan as much as you can way ahead of time, both on a practical level with, and I know people don't like to talk about this, but burial and funeral arrangements. Find out what the person wants and get that all taken care of and paid for as soon as you can, so that when the time comes, all you have to do is make a phone call. Because there's still paperwork. There was so much paperwork that I wasn't aware of. I was like, we already did this. I should just be able to make a phone call. But for the funeral arrangements and all that, you know, there's still stuff that you have to do. So if you can take care of as much of it as possible way ahead of time, that's going to alleviate a lot of stress on you later. The other thing is delegate anything that you can to someone else who can take care of stuff for you. Excuse me. I can't delegate a whole lot because everything's in my name. I took care of everything for so long. I know where everything is. I have all the information. So I'm the one that has to make the phone calls and do the paperwork and make arrangements and all that kind of thing. My brother and my sister-in-law and my nieces are willing to help, but there's only so much they can do. So one of the things that I've been delegating to my sister-in-law is making phone calls, calling people to let them know when it happened, because there's only so much I could do at the time that, you know, obviously I was breaking down while I was talking or texting people, and I just didn't want to deal with a lot of people at the time. There are other people that I was like, I can't deal with them right now. Can you please call them? So she handled a lot of that for me. So if you can delegate simple stuff to somebody else that can handle something for you, if they're willing to, please delegate whatever you can, get it off your plate. And during this whole process, you want to do what feels right to you. And as I've shared in a few of these messages recently, I have just been busy, and that's worked for me. And I'm aware that I'm being busy, and it's helping me to not avoid my feelings, but kind of delay them a little bit. Obviously, I've been feeling what I've been feeling, and I'm so proud of myself. I'm not crying right now. But you've seen recently that I've been having a hard time getting through these videos. The rest of the time when I'm busy, cleaning stuff out, organizing stuff, making all these plans, taking care of things, it's taking my mind off of the fact that my mom is gone, and it doesn't give me as much of a chance to just sit and think about the fact that she's not here anymore physically. She's not in the house. You know, if I'm busy during the day, I can just mentally think, oh, she's just at senior daycare right now. And like I said, I'm not tricking myself. I'm not fooling myself. I'm not in any kind of unhealthy mental state. But now I understand when people have said that they've suffered some kind of tragedy or loss and they just want to work. They just want to throw themselves into work. And I think the thing that pops into my head most prominently, it's not even real, but in Sleepless in Seattle, Tom Hanks's character, talking about after his wife died, he said something to the effect of, you work. You know, work will save you. You get up in the morning and you breathe in and you breathe out, and you keep doing that all day, and you go to bed and you get up and you go to work. So this is my work right now. Mom was my full-time job for over a decade, and now my full-time job is taking care of stuff and getting the house cleaned out and organized. And I'm coming from her bedroom again. I still can't call it my bedroom yet. Not totally moved in yet, waiting for carpet. But this has been kind of cathartic because my parents always wanted me to move in here and do whatever I wanted with the house. So I'm doing it. So it's nice that it keeps me preoccupied and it keeps me busy. But since the day she died, and I'm sure some people are like, what's wrong with you? But after we'd taken care of everything and they had taken her away, I really just couldn't sit and do nothing. So I was like, let's go mattress shopping. So I took my husband and my niece and we went mattress shopping, and I got myself a new bed. That was one of the first things that I wanted to do, a new, bigger bed. And so that made me feel good, made me feel better. And it's pretty much been all day, every day, cleaning things out, except for the day of the funeral. Although I was taping things up in the room in my dress before we left for the funeral, and I'm going to paint all week. And we went out to lunch afterwards, and I had a little too much to drink, and it just hit me way harder than it normally would. 2 drinks hit me like maybe 5 or 6 would, and I was just knocked on my butt, out of it for the rest of the day. The next day, I just woke up and I couldn't even function. I couldn't think, and I thought, okay, it is all hitting me now. And I thought that was it. I'm not going to be able to work as hard as I did before, but every day I felt a little better, so I started doing a little bit more, and I eventually got back up to 12-hour days again, which is fine because, again, it's keeping me busy. So if that's something that will make you feel better, keeping yourself busy, keeping yourself occupied, but maybe you already have a full-time job, and so you're doing that, and then you have to deal with all this stuff at night. Then you have to budget your time and your energy so you don't get too worn out. When I moved in here after my father died, because he asked me to move in with my mom when he was dying, it was a very different situation. I was working full-time. I only took a few days off after he died, but my mom was pretty much taking care of everything. There were a few things that I had to do with her. I had to take off some time from work and run a few errands because I was replacing my dad on a lot of accounts with my mom. So we had to go do that together. But all the phone calls and paperwork and everything, she took care of it. So I didn't even realize how much there was. But also when both parents, when there's a couple and one dies, there's not as much to do as when the other one dies. And then there's a whole estate, the whole trust, everything needs to change over, and there's a lot more to do. So I don't actually know how she was going through her own thing at the time, and there was a change in her personality and a few different things. She took on a lot of traits of my dad, which was interesting after he died. So that was weird. But I'm just trying to be very aware of how I'm feeling and what I'm doing, and make sure that what I'm doing moment to moment and day to day feels good to me, and that it feels healthy to me and feels balanced. And it may seem like I'm way off balance because I've been working so hard, but that's just my personality. I can't rest if things are in disarray, or if they're unorganized or unsettled. Every time I have ever moved in my life, I had to be unpacked and lived in by that night. So you can imagine how this is making me a little bit crazy. So I just want everything done. So I'm doing as much as I can all day, every day, to get it done as quick as possible. We're a month out. I'm still not moved into the bedroom, which is fine, but I've done a lot. So that makes me feel good. That makes me feel better. Well, the gardeners are here. Sorry if you can hear that. I apologize for the noise. And one other thing that I've been doing that I think has really been invaluable, and I want to suggest that you give it a try too, if you're going through any kind of situation, not just losing a loved one, but anything that you might be going through, that you might be thinking, oh, this is a difficult time, this is going to be really hard, or people might be coming up to you to offer condolences and saying, oh, this is such a difficult time, or this is going to be really hard for you. I want none of that. I have affirmed for myself since before Mom died. When I knew she was very, very close, I would start to get overwhelmed with, oh my God, there's so much I'm going to have to do. And I thought, nope, you know what? I'm not going to put that out there. I'm going to affirm and believe that it's going to be easy for me. Yes, there's a lot, and it may be challenging, and it may be time consuming, but I'm going to affirm that it's easy for me and that I have all the support I need. And that has helped me so much, because when I have forgotten that and I've gotten off track, like, oh my God, and there's more paperwork, and then I got to call this person, and because there just always seems to be more. And people I'm working with different aspects of my mom's estate are calling me constantly because they need this, they need that. And then they're like, oh, but this wasn't done right. Oh, but you also need to do this. Oh, but we can't advise you on that. But, oh, but you did it wrong. And, oh, it needs to be done again. So it's like, oh my God. So there have been some things that have driven me a little bit crazy and pushed me over the edge. And I've snapped at a few people who were just not really as sensitive or thoughtful as they could be in this situation. And thanks to Dr. Christiane Northrup, I have learned the value of righteous anger. So if somebody pisses me off, and I am totally validated in pushing back and going, not cool, back off a little bit. Give me some space, give me some time. That was thoughtless. It's okay to do that. And I don't feel bad about it. Before, if I ever did anything like that, I'd be like, oh my God, I shouldn't have said that. I should apologize. You know what? Screw that. I have no patience or energy for anybody who's going to make my life more difficult, who's going to put that out there like, oh, it's going to be so difficult for you. No, I do not choose to believe that. And when I do get off course, I start thinking, oh my God, so hard, so much. I catch myself and I go, nope, you know what? It's easy. I can do it. I can handle it. It's going to be okay. And that's the thing I want to tell you too, is that no matter what is going on, how much there is to deal with, how crazy it is right now, how many people you have coming at you, needing stuff, wanting stuff, things that need to be done, you are okay. It's all going to be okay. You're going to be fine. I'm reminding myself of that all the time. It's all going to work out. I'm going to be fine. And I want you to remind yourself that you're going to be fine. And I'm here to tell you that you're going to be fine. So just make some very strong beliefs and affirmations for yourself that you remind yourself of when the situation gets a little bit crazy and out of control and you find yourself going off on that, oh my God, it's so hard tangent. It doesn't need to be hard. It may be challenging. It may be time consuming, but it doesn't need to be hard. It can be easy. And you know what? When I do that, I immediately feel better. When I go, it's easy, and I have one of those easy buttons from Staples, it does feel easier. And I remind myself of how strong I am and that I can handle this. And you know, the best thing of all of this, with everything that's gone on and all of this stuff that I need to handle, there are times when I feel like after taking care of mom full time for so long, and now everything that I'm dealing with now, I feel like I can go forward in my life. I can handle anything. And that's a good feeling, especially when things are up in the air and uncertain, and especially I have to create a whole new life for myself moving forward. I mean, part of me is so excited because I've known what I want to do for so long. I had that all in place. And that's a great thing to do too, is figure out what you want to do after that person's gone and who you want to be after that person's gone, when you are no longer a caregiver, so that you're not left going, oh my God, who am I now? What do I do? I was a caregiver and now my person's gone. Think about that and figure that out. But I knew what I wanted to do. And so part of me has just been chomping at the bit and ready to hit the ground running when the time was right and when I was able to do that. And so there's that. But there's also this part that's scary because I get to create a whole new life, and oh my God, I have to create a whole new life. So I'm trying to lean more towards the excited part, because whatever you are focusing on emotionally, that's going to draw more of that into your experience. And I want to draw experiences and people and situations in that match that level of excited anticipation that I talk about all the time. So this other stuff is natural. The fear, the doubt, the anxiety. And you know what? I do a lot of tapping. I do a lot of tapping to dissipate those feelings. And that helps a lot, because I don't want to just push them down and ignore them, because if you do that, it's going to erupt on you at some point. You don't want that. You don't want to have some kind of outburst where you take it out on somebody, and you don't want it to all come crushing down on you, where you've been pushing this stuff away, and then all of a sudden it's presented to you and it's completely overwhelming and you're paralyzed with fear. So acknowledge any fear, doubt, feeling of uncertainty. And if you don't know about tapping, check it out at thetappingsolution.com. Lots of information. But I think most people, especially if you're watching this, you probably know about tapping. You probably do tapping. So if you have those fears and anxiety, tap on them. It will help tremendously. And then you can kind of put that to the side and then go back to focusing on, gee, this is what I want to do now. I can do this now. And let those possibilities fill you up and get you excited and provide guidance for you. Because things could come up, people could cross your path that you never imagined for yourself. So if you just have that general idea of what you want, where you want to go, who you want to be, just run with it and be excited about it. And just know that it's all going to be okay. So I hope this helps you a little bit if you're going through something like this, or if you have gone through something like this, or if you're going to be going through something like this. It's just good to kind of be mentally and emotionally prepared and to do as much preparation and planning as you can ahead of time. So I want to use this experience to share what I'm going through with you and help you if you find yourself in the same situation. And this is what's going on with me right now. So you're going to be hearing a lot about it, but it's going to be coming from the perspective of here's what's happening, here's how I handle it. It's made me feel really good. It's worked out well for me, and maybe it'll work for you too. So that's always my intention, to share the things that I know, that I've learned, that have worked well, and hopefully they might help you if you need that kind of information in the future. So thank you as always for watching, and thank you all for your love and support, all your wonderful comments and emails and love and hugs and support has meant so much to me. I can't even tell you. So, and thank you for joining me again here this week. And if you enjoy these videos, remember to subscribe on YouTube, and you can always jump over to my website, TanaMarshall.com, if you want to join the mailing list and have these videos delivered straight to your inbox every Friday with a special note from me. And with that, I just want to wish you a great weekend. And I made it through without tearing up. Wow! I didn't even have any Kleenex, no Kleenex. So just know that I'm with you, and I'm sending you love, and I thank you for being here with me, and have a great weekend, and I will see you next time.